What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster, and I hope you're ready for this. It looks like the Star Wars series, The Acolyte, has gotten its release date announced. I know there have been a lot of rumors about this show getting written off on Disney's taxes and never seeing the light of day, but I personally don't believe it. The show is coming out soon, and I expect a trailer for it in the next few weeks.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, it's hard to give a shit about anything Star Wars these days, other than to mock the hell out of whatever they're doing. But it looks like Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm have a devious little plan for drumming up interest in the show because new Star Wars content has pretty much no ability to drum up interest on its own. Not any longer. Star Wars shows have been drastically losing popularity over the past few years. Just look at the Google Trends charts if you don't believe me. Turns out, if you shit on beloved characters long enough, people lose interest in what you're doing until this is their attitude.
I don't care.
I don't care. Nobody cares.
Alright, me hearties, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. My handle there is Dr. Disaster 1. In any event, let's get to the announcement of the release date for The Acolyte. This article came from Collider. Following our report that the upcoming Star Wars series, The Acolyte, would be launching this summer, Collider has learned The Acolyte is currently slated to debut on Disney Plus on June 5th, 2024. Disney's representatives did not deny or confirm our reporting when reached for comment. So to be clear here, it is still possible that the release date ends up being something else other than June 5th, but Collider usually gets leaks from Disney. I'm fairly sure that these are intentional leaks. It's why Collider gives Disney such favorable coverage all the time. They get exclusives in exchange for their unflagging loyalty. Collider betrays their readers by siding with the evil corporate empire, and in the end, I think this is why the mainstream media is dying, but that's a different topic. I could go rambling on about it for a while. Let's get back on track. We're looking at June 5th. Why is that date significant? What major scheme does Lucasfilm have up their sleeve? Well, it's not necessarily a scheme per se, but this date is at least sort of a big deal because it essentially coincides with the re-release of The Phantom Menace in May. As some of you may remember, Disney is putting The Phantom Menace back in theaters because in May, that marks the 25th anniversary of its original release. And just saying that out loud makes me feel like a very old man. But yeah, they are clearly trying to capitalize on the excitement of this re-release to draw people in. Especially since it's the movie that happens closest in the timeline to The Acolyte, which takes place 100 years before Episode 1. Disney would probably like to release the show a bit closer to The Phantom Menace, but The Bad Batch Season 3 doesn't end until May, and Disney likes to stagger their releases just a bit, so they are pushing it back to June. But they're keeping it as close to The Phantom Menace as possible because without standing on the shoulders of George Lucas, nobody would give a shit about this project other than to make fun of it. In fact, I'm sure most people still won't give a shit. I've covered this many times. Google Trends shows a general downward trajectory in interest in anything Star Wars over time. And as you can see by the purple line on the right, that's Ahsoka, the latest major release. It barely even registers on the scale. You can hardly see the purple line. There just isn't any interest in these shows. People aren't Googling it. People don't care. But in any event, yeah, they're gonna use The Phantom Menace to drum up interest in the show. And I suppose it makes sense. What else are they going to stand on? They can't use the show's creator, Leslie Headland. She's the super feminist who acted as Harvey Weinstein's personal secretary for years. She's a major hypocrite, championing women's rights out loud while keeping quiet about what Weinstein was doing for years. She's already being skewered by folks online. She is not a draw for fans. She is absolutely toxic. And they can't use the universe that the show is being derived from, which is the High Republic books. Those books are so lame that we don't even talk about them any longer. New books come out, sell like crap, and nobody even pays attention. When the High Republic first came out, we made fun of them for stuff like that rock character, Geode, that they created for the universe. These days, the books sell maybe 30,000 copies, and nobody pays it any attention. So they can't use the High Republic. What are they going to use? It's gotta be Episode 1, right? Maybe if people get pumped up seeing Darth Maul on screen again, they can say, yeah, this is the series that leads into that movie. That's all they got, because otherwise the fans just don't give a shit anymore.
I don't give a rat's ass.
They call it Star Wars fatigue. I call it shitty story fatigue. And it's also just flat out a lack of trust in Lucasfilm, that they will do anything other than betray George Lucas's creation, using it as a woke propaganda tool rather than a storytelling vehicle to delight fans and unite our culture. But there it is. The Acolyte has a semi-official release date. It's going to suck as a show, of course. It will be focused on girl power, strong women, and all the other stuff that has crushed projects like The Marvels, She-Hulk, and Madam Web recently. But you go ahead and do you, Lucasfilm, and make sure to stand on the shoulders of greatness while you're at it. That way you'll have a wonderful view of yourself getting your ass kicked when the ratings come back and we can see that nobody watches your nonsense. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.